really should wait a full 5 minutes, but I am so impatient. I usually start cooking when my husband leaves work, giving myself 30 minutes on the clock to make dinner, but tonight I'm making dessert, late night edition. Everybody else is asleep, and I have a couple of bananas that need used. I don't want to throw these in the freezer with the other 25 bananas that I saved for a later date, so we're gonna make one of my mom's favorite cookie recipes. Shout out to Wilson. These are banana oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Stick around because you're going to want to make these. We are gonna start by creaming together 3/4 of a cup of butter, which is 1.5 sticks, with a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar, and a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. If your butter and brown sugar looks like this, where it's still pretty chunky, keep going. You're almost there, but you really want it to be creamed together. Being patient during this step and really getting your butter and sugar combined will pay dividends for you with your cookie recipe. I am not a baker and by far a much better cook, but I do know that creaming your butter and sugar together, key step. You want it to be really nice and fluffy. We're gonna add in 1 egg, which you should not crack into the bowl. Don't do as I do. You do that because you don't want shells. Add in 1 egg. We're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Maybe a little bit more, I love vanilla. There we go. Then mix again until well combined. Now that our egg and vanilla are mixed in, we are gonna add our 2 ripe bananas. You should probably mash these before you put them in, but I'm not dirtying another pan or bowl or dish of any kind. So we're just gonna lightly break them apart, drop them in, and then mix. Our banana mixed in perfectly. You definitely want to use a ripe banana because they're gonna be a lot softer and sweeter. This is a really great recipe for any bananas that you have that you threw in the freezer to use for a different date. I like to hand mix everything from now on so you can put your electric mixer away. Also be quiet. And then I'm gonna set this to the side while we mix together our dry ingredients. Oops. Well, close. In a separate bowl, we're gonna combine 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of old-fashioned oats, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. A new box. Just gonna mix this to combine. The last thing that we do is mix our flour and oat mixture into our banana and sugar mixture. I like to do this by hand so it doesn't get overmixed. It's still gonna be fairly wet, and I really probably needed a bigger bowl. When I was younger, I used to make a lot of Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies, just the recipe straight off the back of the package, or Nestle Tool House for any of my friends watchers out there. And that's when I started to hand mix cookies when you added flour. It's a little bit of a arm workout, but I will tell you, I just feel like you don't overwork the flour. Once you stop seeing any dry spots of flour, that's when you know that you're fully mixed in. Our last ingredient is 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I prefer milk chocolate chips in this recipe. It's already very rich, so a lot of people prefer semi-sweet. My mom definitely uses semi-sweet, probably. Shouldn't say definitely. Maybe we'll do half and half. Let's do that. Like 3/4 of a cup of milk, 3/4 of a cup of semi-sweet, and then just hand mix these in. You absolutely can add cinnamon into these. I just don't like cinnamon in these cookies, so I'm gonna leave it out. Another tip is that you can refrigerate this dough for like a day or so if you need to make it ahead. I'm gonna make a few cookies tonight. We'll save the rest for tomorrow. We're making pretty big cookies. These are massive. Nutritionally speaking, this is not a breakfast food, but logically speaking, it has everything in it that you could eat for breakfast. Eggs, oatmeal. These are gonna bake in a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. These are kind of monstrous. I think they might actually cook for closer to 12 to 14 minutes. These baked up perfectly in about 14 minutes, and also I'm using that gigantic scoop from now on because this size cookie is exactly what I want in my life. Just gonna take them off of the baking sheet so they can cool down for a few seconds before I try one. I fully intended, don't mind the chocolate all over my face, I've totally already tried it. Fully intended on waiting like a full 5 minutes, but could not resist, and they are perfect. These are the gooeyest, most moist cookie you can make. They're so good.